Hello, and welcome back to Scarworld. I am Vilcata, and on this episode, we're going to scout out some neighboring territory and pick out some land for our industrial build. Now, the industrial build is going to be where I'm going to house most of my farms and pretty much the things I don't necessarily want loaded when I'm working on the creative build, which is over in that one. So I've scouted this area and I'm going to scout some more of the neighboring territory. But I think this is going to be the general region that I want to build in. I'll expand out a little bit more and see what else I can find. But today I want to get on defining the borders of the land, fitting it to a map so that we can update the map to get kind of an overhead perspective of the progress. And I would like to get started with the basic breeder so that we can start getting some villagers going. So stick with me here. I will be back shortly once I've made a decision. I have more or less chosen where I'm going to do my industrial builds, and I am beginning to kind of define the border. This is going to be the western side of the map. The map is not as flat as I was hoping, but any farther south and I end up in the ocean, and the east, I believe, is going to be a district, the Elven district. There is, at least in the description, we're supposed to have a birch forest for the Elven district. We're supposed to be east of the Dwarven district, and that birch forest right over there, you can see some birch trees, are roughly east of the Dwarven district. Now I still need to go over there and see how far on the map that those are, because I don't really want to impede in the birch area. It's fairly far east from where the Dwarven district is, so it might be out of the Elven area, but I just wanted to, you know, try to avoid as much as I can. So I'm kind of running up the map here and getting an idea for what the borders are of this map. Now this is not an expanded map. I don't really know how much of it I'm going to fill up, but I just kind of want to cordon off the corners of it, and I don't want to have people move in too close and just to find that there's going to be industrial machines right next to their homes. And, it's not that I'm worried about space, because, I can expand it in any direction if I really need to. But I don't want to ruin builds for anybody else. So I'm going to put some signs down on the corners, plus get the coordinates written down so that I know what the edges are, and go from there. So I need something. There we go. Let's put. Yeah. I just want to put something down that is easiest spot. I'm not seeing it. Oh, I think that's got it. That's it right there. And once the server gives me back my block, thank you. So what I'm doing is clear a little bit of land here. Increase visibility. Because clearing out the land isn't what's going to clear out the visibility. It's going to be lumberjacking. Cut down a couple trees so that people can see the signs. And doing a little bit of that just to kind of let them know it's a inside the border type thing. Well, that's not safe. Let's use cobblestone so it's obvious that a person built this. And it's what? Silly tree. I'm going somewhere. Oh, you were asking for it. Yeah, I suspected this was going to touch the edges of this birch forest. Oops. Alright, I'll leave it there. Get rid of some of these trees so I can actually mark on the map the little golden dot so I know where to put my border. Be patient, sheepy. And I'm just going to clear a few trees here while I'm waiting for those leaves to decay. Alright. I think I got enough trees around the area. Clear it out. I just need enough leaves out of the way for visibility's sake. Would help if I went inside the border instead of out of it so I can get my little guy out of the way. Yeah, see, I originally wanted to place it 1 pixel over. I'm thinking maybe it needs to be 2. Yep. Come on, buddy. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Hello. You guys saw it too, right? There you go. Had to threaten it with the pickaxe. There we go. We struck gold. Clear a little bit of land around it. Make it look at least a little bit less unnatural. I'm gonna terraform all this. Just wanted to back off. Make the sign a little more visible. I'm fine if it's obvious that someone has backed up the dirt. And that gives us our eastern coordinates, eastern x coordinates. Which is 1599. And straight line. I like having automation, just kind of watching it do its thing. Okay, trees out of the way. Bingo. I mean, it's 1 spot over, but it's the border. 1599, so it should be right here. Yippers. No, we're not leaving the gold block. It's my only gold block. I found it in an underwater chest, I think. I found it somewhere and it wasn't someone's base. I promise. All right. So we have one more corner to go. But we have the coordinates for everything now. Just kind of want to make a steppy stair. Hey, diorite. Good stuff. Everybody loves diorite. I'm just on 63. I am. Keep thinking I'll get one of them fancy texture packs that shows the coordinates on the bottom of the screen. Just haven't gotten around to it yet. We are going to 1472. I believe we have passed it. This should be it. Well, let's verify. Perfect. Let's get some wood. Oh, parkour fail. You guys are gonna see a lot of that. I don't exactly excel at parkour. Industrial base area, industrial area, industrial build area. All that will end up flattened eventually, but for now, it's gonna do. So that helps. This gives me a sense of the dimensions of a map and what kind of terrain I'm going to have to deal with. I don't need 400 tons of dirt for my projects, but that's alright. This still isn't too bad. It's not like it's a mountain. I'll deal with that later. Also, it's bordering a snow-capped area, so that'll allow me to stretch a little bit outside of the border and maybe set up a little pool of water for some ice. I don't plan on doing a full-scale ice farm, but ice is invaluable for item transportation and making water flows without carrying 100 buckets on you, water sources without having to kelp all over the place. All right, well, let's move on. I just love watching these guys. Oh yeah, knock him in the pit. Knock him in the pit. Do it. Oh, fail. Don't knock me in the pit. This area is going to have a lot of terraforming over time necessary. and the Y level for the water, which is going to be tentatively the Y level for the entire district, is 63. That's all the way down here. But I got some interesting plans for bringing together all of the different builds, all the different automated farms to a central location. And it's something I'm excited to do, and I'm excited to reveal the plan, but that's that's going to take time. Start small. I'm going to get the basic area dug down here so that I can start building out the first farm. And let's take care of this guy. So that I can get a farmer going and actually get a couple of villagers carted over here and put them in the machine. So we're not going to go full tilt on the farm yet, on the villager breeder hall, trader hall. But let's go ahead and get started with bringing this all the way down to Y63. It's going to be a little bit digging. So I'm going to go ahead and just get to clearing. Catch up with you guys in a bit. I just want to give you guys a quick update on where I am. As you can see, I've kind of dug myself into a hole. Progress is coming along. This is down to Y63. And let me get myself out of here so I can kind of show you where I'm at somewhere other than just staring up the walls. But this has been pretty decent progress. Now that I've got this far down, I just kind of need to widen the hole. And I think I have a passage up here. I don't think I have to dig all the way up a ledge. Yeah, here we are. This should get me out of here. So as you can see, I haven't done much with the other parts of the area, but right here where the first quadrant's going to be, I've flattened it off and began to dig it down a little bit. But I decided, rather than flattening it all at once, I would dig down and actually start to create the diamond shape to give me a more focused feel for what actually has to come down now and what can be terraformed down later. Again, the priority is just going to be to get the first quadrant up and running so I can get some basic breeding going sooner rather than later. After that, I can terraform all the land around it. Probably not, well, I'm not on this episode for sure. Probably not before I do a couple more projects and come back to it. We'll see how things work themselves out. You know, hopefully sooner rather than later I can get myself into diamond tools and maybe take some time to farm for a couple of beacons. At least one beacon for haste 2. So I can come over here and get a little bit better look at what I've been doing. I wanted to kind of define the edge a little bit better, so I dug a little bit of a side channel here. This way it was easier to visualize where the edges will be, since the diamonds of the farm will run up to the edges. And you can see I dug down pretty far around the first layer, and then it's quite a drop all the way down now. And since I don't have boots, much less featherfall boots, I need to be kind of careful. But I think I'm going to get back to digging down, back into the pit, and I'll come back, show you guys some more progress when I have something substantial to show you. All right, back with another little update here. Got a little carried away. So I've defined the boundaries and apparently misplaced a piece of wood. I had to do a little bit of shifting. I had done some bad math, but it's all good. I've got the pit, the pit dug out. Obviously, these things are going to come down because I want the whole thing to be ground level, and we are 2 blocks below ground level. So on top of these wood pillars is ground level. So I'll be able to place, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place glass over it so that we can walk on top of the villager farms. And it should look pretty cool. For now, I'm kind of going with a stripped wood look for the walls. I kind of considered various different stone types, but I thought, I don't really do a whole lot with stripped woods and whatnot, and I know we can cross hatch them, which looks pretty nice. But these are just meant to be, the interior walls for these guys, and we'll see them from above when we're walking on it. But no one's going to be in here. I think that the final structure is going to be a kind of a light color anyway. I know I haven't really revealed all my plans, but this is going to be part of a greater thing. And I envision it being a lighter color, woodsy color, and so I think that this is going to work out well for a color scheme. Alright, so here's the plan. Other than not messing with this neighbor here who seems to want to help by moving dirt. Hopefully he doesn't put it back. So I've tentatively dug out an area for receiving the babies. I'm going to start setting up a water elevator. So I've started the holding area. As you can see, I gave them a little variety of colors. The trapdoors are in place. I don't think I put... No, I did put the fence post. So this is completely ready for the breeders. They will stay in here. At nighttime they will sleep. It is required for them to be able to sleep before they will be willing to breed again. And when they pop back up, since these are not valid spots to stand, because there's technically something there, they will pop up in the only available spot, which will be inside here on top of the fence posts. So this doesn't need to be deep at all. I'm going to make it 5 by 5 because it makes the water flow easy. With 3 by 3, if I put water in the corners, it makes a water source, and then the water source flows all forward, and I don't want it to go forward. I'll take that out momentarily. But there's going to be just one opening. And I need them to... You see, that will actually curve and push them in. And then it'll be the counterforce of the other corner. For now, I'm not water streaming because I don't want to have to walk against it. But I will let it go ahead and pop out immediately. So there shouldn't be no problem with that. And there we go. And then I believe we go 8 spaces. We're going to just fast forward to this part so that you don't have to listen to me count to 8 over and over again. I'll give you the quick synopsis. I count to 8, I dig down. I count to 8, I dig down. I count to 8, I dig down. You got it? Alright, well let's get back to normal time. You know, that was not smart. Because I'm going to be digging down from the top. So the idea here is that we need a couple of signs. We need one here stopping the water from flowing into here, and we need one here from keep it from Journey have an E in it? That's the band. There we go. Welcome to the future. Yes, nobody's going to see this. Actually, play this smart here. There's going to be water right there anyway. So as you can see, that's gonna capture the water. The rest of the water is going to flow downstream, and it's going to stop right here. And when they move forward, they're going to go boop, and they're going to swim on up. In fact, we're going to do one more. So the babies will hopefully just bob right here and not go up. Now, that doesn't always work. I've done this before. What'll happen is others will come through and they'll bump each other and they'll knock someone up, and then they'll get high enough to catch the next rung, and up they'll go. So, you know, if we get a baby in the capture chamber, not really that big of a deal. This should... Here we go. I don't think I need a bucket. Do I want to put another sign? Yeah, you know what? If we can strain out some of these babies, it'll make things a little bit more efficient, a little cleaner. I know you don't want to watch me run this loop over and over again, so I will spare you. Now, while editing this, I noticed that we were really over time. So in the interest of keeping this video under control, I decided to speed up this little portion here of how to build a glass box. But if you need a visual instruction aid on how to build a glass box, you could play this back in slow motion. Basically, all I'm doing here is building the up chamber to where the adults will rise up once they've grown up. And once at the top of the chamber, a forward pushing water stream would move them to the drop chamber. Alright, well, we are running quite long. There was far too much footage for me to put in this episode. As you can see, as a little preview below me, I did make enough progress to start the breeder. But that's a lot of footage. There's already plenty that's on the cutting room floor. So we're going to wait until next time. I'll carry over getting the villagers here, getting this chamber up and running, then moving on from there. It's not a lot more progress, but it took time, and so there's plenty of footage of it, and I was just having to cut way too much. I wanted to be able to talk about it and show you guys the process. So we're going to hold off until next episode, finish this, and move on to the next project. So that's a wrap for this episode. Thank you for hanging out, and please feel free to leave a comment. I hope to see you guys on the next episode.